Good afternoon and welcome to Headingley for this Slalom Lager Championship match between Leeds and Warrington. The Leeds side 1 Tim Healy, 2 Andrew Smith, at 3 David Creasott, 4 Paul Medley, 5 Andrew Stanleyland, 6 Neil Haig, 7 Mark Conway, at 8 Jeff Gratian, 9 David Ward, at 10 Brendan Hill, 11 Keith Rain, 12 Kevin Rain, 13 David Heron. Substitutes are Colin Maskell and Richard Gunn. The Warrington side 1 Paul Ford, at 2 Kevin Meadows, 3 Mark Foster, 4 Ronnie Dwayne, at 5 Brian Carbett, 6 Paul Bishop, 7 Andy Gregory, 8 Les Boyd, at 9 Kevin Tamati, 10 Bob Jackson, 11 Gary Sanderson, 12 Mark Roberts and 13 Mike Gregory. Substitutes for Warrington are Billy McGinty and Tony Hodson. So it'll be Leeds who will get this game underway, playing from left to right on our screens. And it's Mark Conway who will get the game underway. He kicks deep into the Warrington 25. Paul Bishop will take it. Hands it on to Mike Gregory. Mike Gregory coming out of his own 25 before he's brought down by David Heron. Tamity's acting halfback. Sends it on to Sanderson. Sanderson straightens up. 2 Leeds players bring him down. Once again it's Tamity from the play. The ball hands it on to Jackson. Jackson clears his 25 before he's brought down. Tamity once more sends it to Bishop. Bishop with the kick towards touch. Healy chases it and will pick it up deep inside his 25. And he's stopped short by Jackson and Roberts. Stansland. He meets old Les Boyd and Mark Roberts. David Ward on the Leeds 25. And a free kick to Leeds against Les Boyd. And the first free kick of the match goes to Leeds. The ball put into touch by David Creasott. Ward will take the tap on to Gratian. Gratian goes himself, tries to get the ball away, but 3 Warrington players in the tackle. Once again David Ward. Conway. Good tackle though on Keith Rain by Mike Gregory. Conway once more sends it left. This time it's Heron. And the pass not taken. And Warrington back in possession. Tamity's acting halfback, sends it right on to Boyd. Boyd charges forward into the Leeds 25. Tamity once more to Jackson. Jackson to Mike Gregory. Gregory to Andy Gregory. Gregory dummies. Finds Sanderson. He's got a break. Has it out to Bishop. Bishop and Dwayne just can't take the pass. And finally the ball taken by Andrew Smith for Leeds on his try line. And Ronnie Dwayne tackles him inside his own try area. So Leeds will drop out from underneath their own sticks after that nice attack from Warrington. Lily bringing the first points of the game. So Creasott will take the drop. Right-footed Paul Ford goes for this one, just inside his own half, picks it up, makes play inside the Leeds half, gets away from one man. This time it goes on to Les Boyd. Boyd charges through, shrugs off 2 tackles, still going, gets the ball away. Finally the ball pounced upon by Sanderson, but a knock on and a scrum down on the Leeds 25. Matt Conway to feed for Leeds. And Warrington ball, Mike Gregory comes away with it. So Warrington on the attacking side of Leeds 25. It's Andy Gregory, goes himself on the play the ball across field. Finally cuts inside, brought down by Neil Haig. Tamati on to Jackson. Jackson goes straight. Once again, Tamati acting halfback, goes himself on the play of the ball. Brought down low by Keith Rain. Sanderson's acting halfback this time, on to Bishop. Bishop to Gregory, back to Bishop. And the pass on to Mark Roberts isn't taken. And Leeds back in possession with David Ward. Brendan White and loses the ball. Boyd onto Bishop. Bishop now makes ground inside Leeds 25. Slows it on the way to Andy Gregory. Gregory onto Tamati. Tamati straightens up. He's going for the line. Don't got the full back to beat. He's still going long pass out and it's there. Brian Carbett scores the first try of the match in the corner. Beautifully made by Tamati. You saw the gap. Warrington take the lead 4 points to 0. The try scored of Brian Carbett. The loose ball quickly moved across the Warrington line and it was Tamati who saw the gap, and Tamati's pass out to Brian Carbett on this left wing, who went in for the first points of the game. So Paul Bishop on this near touchline. So Paul Bishop comes up left-footed, good kick, but hits the post. Unlucky there from Paul Bishop, makes the score, Warrington 4, Leeds 0. So Leeds to restart. Conway, nicely taken by Mike Gregory. Mike Gregory coming out of his own 25, brought down by David Ward. Tamati acting half-back for Warrington this time. On to Mark Roberts. Mark Roberts, though, brought down by Jeff Gratian. Tamati once more. On to Bob Jackson. Jackson still going. Finally brought down by Creaser. Tamati on to Andy Gregory. Gregory, dummies, and David Ward hitting Sanderson off the ball there. Gives the free kick to Warrington. So Paul Bishop with the kick, and it's a good one. Sending play inside the Leeds half. Tamati will take it. Jackson comes on the burst once more. Gets away from one man, finally brought down by Creaser. Tamati once more. Les Boyd charges in this time. Gets the ball away. Bishop takes it well. A long pass out, Mike Gregory this time. Mike Gregory. But his pass onto Ronnie Dwayne isn't taken, and offside against Mark Roberts. Gives Leeds the free kick, which David Creaser will take. And right-footed, puts the ball into touch over on that far side. So Leeds set move this one. Rain comes onto it, but nicely tackled by Sanderson. Mark Roberts. Conway once more onto Brendan White. Ward once more to Gratian. Heron. Rain gets the ball away, but Ronnie Dwayne nicely in on Neil Haig. Conway onto Gratian. Gratian nicely tackled by Sanderson. Ward once more sends it left with Conway. Conway, Heron, long pass out. Rain straightens up and finds a gap through the middle. Once again Sanderson makes the tackle for Warrington. 6th tackle for Leeds. David Ward takes it. And the kick comes in from Haig. Paul Ford will go back for it. Bounces nicely for him. Brian Carbett cuts back inside. Gets away from Neil Haig, but slips. And Neil Haig traps him just inside the 125. Bishop onto Mike Gregory. Mike Gregory straightens up, gets away from Brendan Hill. Mike Gregory is away, going inside, gets the ball away to Tamati. Tamati just can't take the pass. And then the ball is lost and Warrington back in possession with Ronnie Dwayne. And Warrington in possession on the halfway line. Ronnie Dwayne. Tamati will take it onto Andy Gregory. Gregory straightens up, gets the ball away to Tamati. Tamati knocks off one man, still going, and his pass is intercepted by David Heron. Leeds in possession now. Creaser. Keith Rain. David Ward onto Gratian. Gratian to Brendan Hill. Nicely tackled by Mark Robertson, he drops the ball. But Leeds back in possession, 6 more tackles. David Ward sends it right this side with Neil Haig. Haig straightens up. Nicely tackled by Sanderson, but gets the ball away now. Mark Conway. Conway jinks inside. Nicely tackled by Paul Ford and Ronnie Dwayne. Leeds on the attack inside the Warrington 25. Creaser on to David Ward. Ward, Heron, a long pass out, and the pass isn't taken. And 6 more tackles to Leeds. Paul Medley not taking the pass, but 6 more tackles. David Ward acting halfback. Brendan Hill. Ward once more on to Gratian. Gratian, long pass out, and the pass isn't taken by Keith Rain. But play on, says the referee. David Ward. Once again, David Heron. Heron looking for the gap himself. Brought down though by Andy Gregory. 6 tackle for Leeds. Conway's acting halfback. Sends it on to Gratian. Gratian with the kick. And that's a nice one. Sending play inside the Warrington 25 for a scrum down. So midway inside the Warrington 25. Scrum down, Andy Gregory will feed for Warrington. And a Warrington ball, Gregory goes blindside. Caught though by David Heron. Ball goes on to Tamati. Brought down by David Ward and Keith Rain. Gary Sanderson on to Bob Jackson. Tamati goes himself on the play of the ball. Clears his 25 before he's brought down. Plays the ball to Gregory. Back to Paul Bishop. Bishop with the kick. Looks a good one, and it is. Nice kick there from Paul Bishop. Finding touch nicely. Another scrum down. So Mark Conway to feed for Leeds. And that's Warrington ball. Gregory, dummies. Gets the ball away to Mike Gregory. Gregory gets away from one man onto Bishop. Bishop, Paul Ford links up well, cuts inside. Nice break from Paul Ford. Still going. Finally brought down by David Heron. Well played there from Paul Ford, linking up in attack. This time it's Andy Gregory. But Gregory knocks the ball on. And that will be another scrum down. So Matt Conway will feed for Leeds. And once again Warrington have possession. But this time the referee penalises Warrington and gives a free kick to Leeds. So David Creaser. And a nice kick there from David Creaser. Conway will take the tap. Another set move here from Leeds. David Ward. David Ward onto Brendan Hill, but he can't take it. Ronnie Dwayne though just couldn't take the pass. Loose ball and knocked it on. And another scrum down. Directly below our commentary position. Referee Lindop talking to both number 8s as the ball comes out, and nicely taken there from Andy Gregory. Spotted that loose ball well and beat Conway to the ball. Mike Gregory from the play, the ball goes right and finally makes about 10 yards before he's brought down by David Heron. This time it's Tamati onto Gregory. Gregory onto Mark Roberts, took it well. Gets away from his opposite number, Kevin Rain. Finally held by David Ward and Brendan Hill. This time it goes on to Andy Gregory, cuts inside, but he's stopped by David Heron. Tamity once more, onto Paul Bishop. Bishop to Les Boyd. Boyd gets the ball away, but Leeds are back in possession. Neil Haig comes up with the ball for Leeds. David Ward to David Heron. Heron onto Creaser. Creaser though caught by Ronnie Dwayne and Gary Sanderson. Conway from the play the ball, hands it on to David Ward. Ward onto Brendan Hill, and that's a free kick to Warrington. Obstruction. So, over comes Paul Bishop. And that will be taken by the wingman Andrew Smith. Gets away from Jackson, but not from Ronnie Dwayne. David Ward, long pass out, Heron onto Gratian. Gratian cuts back inside, and his pass is taken by Conway. Conway's free, nicely tackled though by Sanderson once again. David Ward onto Heron. Heron straightens up, out to Rain. Rain finds the gap and is into the 25. Dwayne's chasing, he's got 4 to beat, hands it on to Creaser, and the ball is dropped and Ronnie Dwayne picks it up for Warrington. Paul Ford from the play the ball, hands it on to Jackson. Jackson straightens up. Still going, makes good ground before he's brought down by Andrew Smith. Tamity goes himself. 6 more tackles. Clean slate, David Ward pinching the ball. Warrington back in possession though. Gregory goes himself. Gets it onto Boyd. Boyd to Bishop. Bishop goes himself. Mark Roberts hands it on to Andy Gregory. Gregory with a little chip through. Mark Foster's following this one, and the kick ahead. Meadows goes for it now on that right wing, and Meadows will pick this one up, but decides to kick it. Mark Foster's going for it. He's got the speed. It's going to be Kevin Meadows who goes in the corner. And a try from Kevin Meadows. Warrington from in their own half. What a try. The ball kicked on from Mark Foster. It was kicked on from Kevin Meadows. And then Kevin Meadows goes into the corner for Warrington's second try. Making the score Leeds 0, Warrington 8. And now both wingmen for Warrington get themselves on the score sheet. Meadows going in the corner, beating the attentions of a Leeds player. So 16 minutes gone, and Warrington leading by 8 points to 0. So Paul Bishop, another difficult kick, hit the post with his first attempt. Left footed, it looks a better one, and a nice kick from Paul Bishop. Makes the score Leeds 0, Warrington 10. So Leeds to restart with Matt Conway. Nicely taken, Gary Sanderson, brought down by David Creaser. Tamity on to Bob Jackson. Jackson still going, finally having to be brought down by Jeff Gratian. Tamity this time hands it on to Mike Gregory. Mike Gregory though brought down by Keith Rain. Once again, Tamity's acting halfback, sends it right with Andy Gregory. Gregory to Bishop. Gregory once more onto Mark Roberts, but Mark Roberts can't hold the ball, and Neil Haig picks it up, but immediately tackled by Ronnie Dwayne. David Ward. This time it goes to Gratian. Gratian back to Rain. Rain though meets Jackson and Boyd. Once again, Ward sends it left with Conway. Conway onto Gratian. Gratian to Heron. Heron finds a break, but nicely tackled by Sanderson. With the assistance of Mark Foster. Kevin Rain. And he loses the ball, and Les Boyd in possession for Warrington. Just inside the Leeds half, he plays the ball, and Mike Gregory And the free kick goes to Leeds. Les Boyd not playing the ball correctly. So David Creaser with the kick. And another good one. Sets Leeds up in possession once more. Once again, Conway takes the tap onto Ward. Ward, but can't hold the pass. And that is a scrum down. And this time the free kick goes to Warrington. So Paul Bishop left-footed. Once again another good kick into touch over on that far side. Sets Warrington up on the attack once more. Tamate will take the tap. Lindup, the referee today, sending the Leeds players back. And waits for the ball, he's taken off the field. A good tackle there from Kevin Rain on Kevin Tamate. This time Les Boyd. Another good tackle from Kevin Rain. Gregory onto Jackson. Jackson straightens up. Still going with two Leeds players in attention. Tamate to Sanderson. Sanderson makes play inside the Leeds 25 before he's brought down by David Ward. Goes right this time with Andy Gregory. Gregory gets away from one man. His pass picked up by Meadows. Meadows comes back inside. Mark Foster this time. On to Andy Gregory. Gregory. He's caught a couple of yards inside the Leeds 25. 6 tackle for Warrington. Goes back to Bishop. Bishop with the kick. Across field. Mike Gregory's underneath this. Was those Jackson. It goes loose. And it's finally picked up by Andrew Smith. Who's well tackled though by Ronnie Dwayne and Mike Gregory. Conway hands it on to Heron. Heron though caught by Mark Roberts. Conway once again goes himself on the play of the ball but slips as he looked for the gap. Pounced upon by Bob Jackson. David Ward. Haig. Neil Haig. On to Rain. And Rain stopped short of his own 25. So 6 tackle, Leeds still inside their own 25 and a poor pass. Mark Conway has to go back for it and that is the 6th tackle and that is the turnover and Warrington now on the attack. It goes out by Gregory, a chance here, dummies. But held. Paul Bishop that's in half back. On to the ball comes Mark Foster. Bishop sats in half back once more. Bob Jackson comes onto it this time. Tamate onto Les Boyd charging through. Les Boyd hands it onto Tamate, the ball goes loose. And finally Leeds back in possession. So Leeds, midway inside their own 25, David Ward on to Brendan Hill. Hill. Stopped though by Paul Ford and Mark Roberts. Once again David Ward's acting halfback, sends it left this time. And Paul Medley stopped by Mark Foster and Mark Roberts. Gratian goes himself but well tackled by Jackson and Sanderson. 6 tackle for Leeds, still inside their own 25. David Ward. This time the kick comes in. Brian Carbett takes it nicely. Goes down the touchline. Finally brought down by David Creaser. Ronnie Dwayne from the play of the ball goes himself. He's finally stopped by Kevin Rain. Tamate onto Mike Gregory. Gregory cuts back inside. Tamate goes left onto Les Boyd. Boyd onto Carbett. Carbett though stopped by Andrew Smith. Les Boyd onto Bishop. Bishop to Jackson. Jackson now brought down low inside the Leeds 25. 6 tackle. Gregory. Drop kick attempt. A poor one. And full back Healy comes away with it. This time it goes on to Brendan Hill. Leeds still play it through the forwards in their own 25, but this time it's Heron. Heron on to Rain. Rain though stopped by Tamati and Gregory. Once again David Ward sends it left this time with Jeff Gratian. But he's been pushed back by Bishop. Mark Roberts. So David Ward on to Neil Haig. Haig elects to kick. Paul Ford. Gregory picks it up but can't take it. And the ball goes into touch. For a scrum down. Leeds 0, Warrington 10. And Andy Gregory will feed this scrum. And he's penalised. So Gregory penalised for feeding, gives Leeds the free kick. David Creaser comes across. And the kick is a poor one. Paul Ford nicely takes it, but just goes dead. And Warrington will have to drop out from under their own sticks. So Paul Bishop drops out. Jeff Gratian takes it. Will make ground inside the Warrington 25 before he's stopped. Ward onto Haig. Haig to Heron. Heron, Rain comes up. Still going. Gets it onto David Ward. David Ward dummies. Gets the ball away, but Warrington back in possession with Mark Roberts. Nice bit of defending there from Roberts, picking up the pass. As Gregory comes away with the ball. Warrington have an injury. Looks like Paul Bishop as Jackson goes forward before he's brought down by David Ward. Tamati onto Andy Gregory. Gregory dummies. Finally stopped. Short of his own 25-yard line. Tamati plays it back to Paul Ford. Ford with the kick. Into space. Finally picked up by Andrew Stansland. Healy from the play the ball goes himself, stopped by Kevin Meadows. Rain stopped on the halfway line. Conway onto Jeff Gratian. But he's well tackled by Gary Sanderson and Bob Jackson. Mark Conway's acting halfback, sends it left onto David Ward. Ward onto Haig. Haig, a nice pass there. Rain, well tackled though by Mark Foster and Mike Gregory. 6 tackle for Leeds. Haig with the kick, charged down by Foster. And back in possession now Leeds. Conway finds the gap, he's got Paul Ford to beat. He tries to beat him on the far side. Nicely tackled though from Paul Ford. 6 more tackles though for Leeds. Clean slate. Creaser hands it on to Brendan Hill. Hill brought down again by Paul Ford with the assistance of Paul Bishop. Heron. Keith Reid. Creaser's acting half-back, sends it left onto David Heron. Heron to Gratian. Haig. A nice pass up, there's a chance here, but a good tackle there. Coming in from Matt Foster on Paul Medley. And dummy there. And the ball goes loose. Creaser picks it up, can't take it. And Bishop comes away with the ball. Still going. Stopped short of his own 25-yard line by Healy. Gregory goes himself from the play the ball. Back to Dwayne. Dwayne's got a break. He's got the highlighters inverted. He's no fullback. Dwayne's away, he's going to the line, Conway's chasing back. Dwayne's still going, he's going for the corner, it's going to be a try from Ronnie Dwayne, is it? Yes, what a try from Ronnie Dwayne from inside his own 25 virtually. A great try, he runs the length of the field. And beautifully made from the pass from Andy Gregory. Dwayne was timing all the time, and he goes into the corner for Warrington's third try. What a try, Dwayne runs the length of the pitch. Warrington from inside their own 25. Gregory, he slipped past, and suddenly the gap appeared for Ronnie Dwayne, and he just tore away. Conway tackled him short of the line, but his momentum took him over. And Warrington with the try from Ronnie Dwayne. So Paul Bishop with the conversion attempt, but to the left of the post it goes. But that makes the score Leeds 0, Warrington 14. 3 tries and 1 goal. So, half an hour gone, 10 minutes remaining in the first half. And Warrington with a 14-point lead. As Mark Conway restarts, kicks it into the Warrington 25, Mike Gregory takes it safely. And he's stopped short of his own 25. Tamati to Sanderson. Once again Tamati. This time it goes on to Bob Jackson. Tamati decides to kick. And it's a good kick from Tamati. What a kick there from Kevin Tamati. And that takes play inside the Leeds 25 for another scrum down. So Mark Conway to feed for Leeds. And Warrington in possession, Bishop, dummies, brought down by Neil Haig. Gregory, nice pass out, nicely taken by Mark Foster though, who was under pressure from David Creasley, took it nicely. Gregory sends it left this time, goes himself. Mike Gregory goes himself from the play of the ball, back to Tamati. Tamati, stopped though by Heron. Gregory, on to Les Boyd. Boyd, back to Gregory. Gregory now tries to get the ball away, but stopped by Brendan Hill. 6th tackle this time for Warrington. Goes on to Bishop. Bishop lines himself up for the drop goal, and nicely through the middle. And that drop goal takes the scores to Leeds 0, Warrington 15. Paul Bishop drops the goal. And Leeds restart once again with Mark Conway. And Mike Gregory stops it safely with his foot and picks it up. Pushed back by Brendan Hill a few yards. Tamati goes himself. He's stopped on the Warrington 25-yard line. Andy Gregory is at acting halfback. Sends it right with Bob Jackson. Jackson once again makes good ground before he's brought down. Gregory once more, plays it back this time to Bishop. Bishop with the kick. And another good kick from Paul Bishop. Skids along the slippery surface, finally picked up by Andrew Stansland. but nicely taken out by Les Boyd. Healy is at acting halfback for Leeds, goes himself. But Les Boyd, Mark Roberts on the tackle with Bob Jackson, David Ward, and this time offside against Andy Gregory. Gives Leeds the free kick. David Creaser. And the kick is a poor one, nicely taken from Brian Carbett. He's got Smith in front of him, tries to beat him on the left, comes back inside. Warrington back in possession once again. Dwayne onto Gregory. Gregory took it well, hands it on to Tamati. Tamati onto Sanderson. Sanderson charges through, takes two Leeds players to bring him down. Tamati once more, onto Andy Gregory. Gregory to Bishop. Bishop back to Gregory. Gregory gets the ball away, nicely taken by Mike Gregory, onto Foster. Foster's got speed, gets away from one man, he's got the gap. Foster's going for the corner and no one will stop him. A great try from Mark Foster. He left the cover for dead. 19 points to 0. And Mark Foster gets his name on the score sheet. So all the backs, Meadows, Foster, Dwayne and Carbett have scored tries in this first half for Warrington. And at the moment, making it look a little bit too easy. So once again, Paul Bishop being left with a difficult kick. Out on the far touchline. All his attempts so far have been on the touchlines. No easy kicks at the moment. But can he kick this one? Comes up left-footed, but across the face of the goal, which makes the score Leeds 0, Warrington 19. So 4 minutes remain in this first half. Warrington 19-0 in front. Mark Conway restarts. Once again, Mike Gregory takes it on the run. Jackson goes himself. Sanderson. Warrington then in midfield. Andy Gregory hands it on to Bishop. Bishop once again with the kick. Another good kick from Paul Bishop. Goes towards the touchline, but this time Stansland will cut it off. Stops it with his foot, comes away with it. And once again he's brought down just over his own 25 by Jackson. David Ward on to Gratian. Gratian runs into Boyd and Tamati. Ward to Conway. Nice pass to Rain. Haig and a chance here now for Creaser. Creaser's got Smith in support and finds him. Smith still going. Nicely taken out of the game by Brian Carbett. A good saving tackle. Creaser. Haig. Heron finds the gap. Nicely stopped though by Mark Roberts. Leeds then pressing in the 1-25. Conway. Hill to Rain straightens up. And the poor pass, but it's picked up by Conway. Conway still going. And 6th tackle now for Leeds. Goes left, Heron. And a long pass out, there's a chance here for Stansland. Cuts back inside and Mike Gregory is there for Warrington. Once again, good defence from Warrington. At the vital moment, a Warrington player is there to stop the pass. Kevin Meadows comes away with the ball. Tamati goes himself. Gregory. But Tamati goes himself. Makes good ground once again before he's stopped by Hill. Being pushed towards the touchline but gets the ball away. Mike Gregory. Nicely played there from Tamati. But 6 tackles, still Warrington midway inside their own 25. It goes back to Paul Bishop. Bishop with the kick. Another good kick over the head of Healy. But Leeds in possession. Tim Healy. Nicely tackled by Sanderson. Heron. A poor pass, nicely taken though by David Creaser. Haig onto Conway. Conway goes back. Stopped by Ronnie Dwayne. Creaser once again to Heron. Heron can't hold the pass. Knocks on and another scrum down. So Warrington, who early in the season beat Leeds by 32 points to 18 at Wilderspool with 12 men. At the moment well on to another sizable victory here. Headingley at the moment leading by 19 points to 0. Referee Lindop not happy at the moment with the scrums. Gregory feeds, comes out. Mike Gregory's got a gap. Gregory still going and can't get the pass away, and Leeds back in possession now. Jackson and Ronnie Dwayne, and the tackle there on David Creaser. From the play the ball, it's Andrew Smith going across field, gets away from a couple of tackles, still going, and gets away from Foster. Finally brought down by Mark Roberts and Kevin Meadows. Good run there, and in fact there goes the half-time hooter. And at half-time Warrington in the lead by 19 points to 0. Tries in the first half by Kevin Meadows, Mark Foster, Ronnie Dwayne and Brian Carbett. 1 goal from Paul Bishop and a drop goal from Paul Bishop. So at half-time as the teams go in, the score is Leeds 0, Warrington 19. So the teams return for this second half. Leeds 0, Warrington 19 the score. Leeds have made 1 change on his number 15, Richard Gunn. So Warrington will restart this second half with a 19-point lead. And Paul Bishop gets the second half underway. Creaser takes it. Stopped by Mark Roberts and Mike Gregory on the 25-yard line. Ward onto Gratian. Once again, David Ward. First touch for Richard Gunn, hands it on. Keith Rain. Nicely taken by Haig. Haig. This time it's Heron. And the kick comes in from Leeds. Paul Ford letting it bounce. Finally takes it. Returns the compliment by kicking it back to Tim Healy. And so Leeds have 6 more tackles. And the free kick goes to Leeds. Kevin Tamati penalised. So David Ward will take the tap. Has it on to Gratian. Gratian though held by Les Boyd and Kevin Tamati. David Ward once more. Rain once again. Richard Gunn onto Gratian. Gratian looking for the gap, caught though well by Mark Roberts. Mark Conway to Gunn. He's stopped though by Jackson and Sanderson. Mark Conway this time onto David Ward. Ward to Rain. Rain back inside to the other Rain in the lead side. Kevin Rain, 6th tackle for Leeds. Up comes Neil Haig. Haig with the kick, charged down by Ray Dwayne, and Leeds have 6 more tackles. Leeds across the line this time. Mike Gregory just can't get David Heron, finds the gap, but Mike Gregory comes back well for the tackle. Gunn hands it on to Gratian, Gratian to Rain. Rain looking for the gap, well brought down by Andy Gregory. David Ward to Gratian. Gratian looking for the gap, stopped though by Mike Gregory, gets the ball away. But Leeds in possession with Keith Rain. David Ward on to Heron, Heron to Gunn. Gunn still going, finally brought down by Tamati. 6th tackle this time for Leeds. Conway with the kick, nicely taken by Brian Carbett. He makes it to his own 25-yard line before he's brought down. Andy Gregory on to Sanderson. Tamati this time goes himself, looks for the gap and finds it. Tries to get the ball away, Gregory kicks it on, but that will be a knock-on. So a scrum down, midway between the halfway and Warrington's 25-yard line, which Matt Conway will feed when the scrum is packed down correctly. So Matt Conway feeds, goes by side. Mike Gregory though brings him down, but Leeds in possession now, deep inside the Warrington half. Richard Gunn coming on in this second half for Brendan Hill. David Ward this time to Gratian, Gratian, Heron, Heron looking for the gap. Well tackled though by Mark Roberts and Matt Foster. Neil Haig this time. Chance here, Paul Medley still going. Paul Bishop though has to bring him down, but Lee's now on the attack midway inside the Warrington 25. It goes right with Mark Conway. Conway, Heron, Heron long pass out, Gunn. Richard Gunn still going, having to be stopped by Sanderson and Andy Gregory. 6th tackle for Leeds. It goes to Gratian, Gratian with the kick. Paul Ford comes for it, hits the post, bounces awkwardly, and Paul Ford pounces on it. Very difficult kick that. It's in the post, but Paul Ford stops the ball and Warrington drop out with Paul Bishop. A poor one, but Mark Conway will stop this one for Leeds and knocks the ball on. So another scrum down. Gregory feeds, Warrington ball, Bishop onto Matt Foster. Foster, and brought down by Neil Haig. Mike Gregory onto Andy Gregory. Gregory goes himself, finds the gap, he's away. Gets it onto Mike Gregory, but a forward pass. As Mike Gregory was away for the try line. The two Gregorys combine, but a forward pass from Andy to Mike. So that results in a scrum down, which Mark Conway will feed. And this time it's a Leeds ball. Conway hands it on to Haig. Haig still going. Mark Conway this time on to Richard Gunn. Gunn straightens up, stopped by Bob Jackson. This time it goes on to Ward. Ward looks for the gap and finds it onto Conway. The chance there, Conway going for the line. He's got Gratian up in support. Gratian going for the line. Back to Conway. Conway still going and beats Bishop. And Leeds open their account. Mark Conway goes in to the right of the post. So Mark Conway scores Leeds' first points of the afternoon. And leaves the easy kick to David Creaser. And no trouble for David Creaser, and Leeds pulls 6 points back. So Paul Bishop restarts. The score: Leeds 6, Warrington 19. Richard Gunn. And being pushed back by Jackson and Boyd. And Tamati. David Ward is acting halfback for Leeds. Hands it on to Rain. Rain, well stopped though by Sanderson. Ward once more. Heron. Nice tackle. Mark Foster. Ward goes right this time with Rain. Rain gets the ball away. A chance here. He's got Andrew Smith still going. Gets the ball back to Ward. Ward onto Gratian. Gratian to Heron. There's a big overlap over on this side. Heron decides to go himself. Still going. Good tackle from Jackson, but he gets the ball away and the ball goes loose. And finally Mike Gregory goes onto the ball for Warrington. Sanderson is acting half back from the play. The ball he goes himself. Still going. Takes 3 Leeds players to bring him down. Gregory onto Tamati. But Tamati's caught by Kevin Rain. This time it's Andy Gregory. Gregory onto Jackson. Jackson straightens up, finds the gap. He's got players in support. He's still going, gets away from one tackle. Finally happens to be brought down by Neil Haig. Mike Gregory this time sends it left with Bishop. Bishop onto Andy Gregory. His pass goes loose, but Warrington's still in possession. But knock on, says referee Mr. Lindop, so that will be a scrum down. So Matt Conway feeds, Gregory gets the ball for Warrington, but the scrum will be fed again by Matt Conway. And Leeds in possession. This time it's Haig onto Healy. Healy stopped by Paul Bishop and Matt Foster. Neil Haig. Medley coming inside. Neil Haig once more onto David Ward. Ward to Gunn. Gunn still going. Finally having to be stopped by Bob Jackson. David Ward once more. Sends it this time on to Jeff Gratian. Gratian straightens up and is pushed back. Gets the ball away. Conway finds the gap once more. Stopped though by Andy Gregory. 6th tackle for Leeds. Ward to Rain. Rain with the kick. Stopped nicely from Carbett. And Carbett is stopped on the halfway line. Ronnie Dwayne will take it. Hands it on to Les Boyd. Gregory to Sanderson, and Sanderson can't hold the ball goes loose, and Les Boyd now with the break. But 3 Leeds players on him, but 6 more tackles now for Warrington. Tamati's acting halfback, sends it on to Gregory. Gregory to Jackson. Jackson though well tackled by Kevin Rain. Tamati goes himself, hands it on to Andy Gregory. Gregory to Bishop. Bishop onto Mark Roberts. He's found the gap. He's only got the full-back to beat. And beats him nicely. Matt Roberts going for the line, still going. Having to finally brought down by Kevin Rain, but Warrington now on the attack. Bishop will take it. And a free kick. Keith Rain not allowing Matt Roberts to play the ball. And Paul Bishop, no doubt, will try and add a further 2 points to the Warrington score. And another substitution being made by Leeds. And Paul Bishop adds a further 2 points to the Warrington score, making the score Leeds 6, Warrington 21. Leeds making a substitution. Colin Maskell has come on and Neil Haig has gone off. So Leeds restart with Conway, and Brian Carbett takes it nicely. Mike Gregory goes himself, stopped on the 25-yard line. Tamati, Jackson once again beats one man, making good ground before he's finally brought down. Tamati once again hands it on to Gregory with a little kick through. Ball goes loose and Tamati picks it up, and that surely will be 6 more tackles. But the referee doesn't signal. Les Boyd plays it back to Paul Bishop. Bishop with the kick. Comes off a Leeds player. Mark Foster's going for it. Heron picks it up though for Leeds. Mark Conway on to Medley. Medley going across field. Being brought down by Mike Gregory. This time it goes on to Gratian. Gratian gets the ball away to Rain. Rain though stopped by Les Boyd. And loses the ball. Les Boyd away with it. And the referee gives the free kick to Leeds. Les Boyd alleged to have pinched the ball. So Leeds have a chance now to take play inside the Warrington 25 and set themselves up on the attack. David Creaser puts the ball into touch. David Ward will take the second part of the penalty. Hands it on to Kevin Rain. Rain stopped by Mark Roberts and Gary Sanderson. David Ward this time. Ward once more goes left with Heron. Heron long pass out. Colin Maskell. Medley though well stopped by Meadows and Mark Foster. Maskell once again going himself trying to play the ball. Mark Foster again brings him down. Ward, Gratian knocks off one man, still going, tries to get the ball away, but is held just inside the Warrington 25. 6th tackle. David Ward plays it back to Maskell. Maskell with a very high kick. Paul Ford's underneath it and takes it. Few butterflies, no doubt, as he juggled that one. From the play the ball, it's Sanderson. Tamati going himself once more. This time being pushed back. Bishop onto Les Boyd. Gregory will go acting half back and send it back to Paul Bishop, who kicks it downfield. And taken by fullback Healy. Healy going across field, looking for the gap. Brought down though nicely by Meadows and Foster. Nice run though for Healy. This time it's Maskell. Maskell hands it on to Medley. Medley though well tackled by Bob Jackson. This time it goes on to Ward. Ward to Heron. Heron cuts back inside. Richard Gunn onto Ward. Ward goes himself. Gunn receives the pass back. And he's brought down on the Warrington 25. David Ward sends it left this time with Maskell. Maskell back to Medley. Medley, but he's stopped and Leeds lose ground by Mike Gregory. 6th tackle for Leeds. Conway with the kick. And that one is too long. And Warrington will have a tap from their own 25-yard line. Leeds 6, Warrington 21. "17 minutes gone in the second half. Tamati goes himself. Gregory goes himself, looking for the gap, and finds it. Gregory's away. A lovely break from Andy Gregory. He's got Tamati coming up on his left, and cuts inside, hands it on to Tamati. And once again, the referee has blown up for a forward pass from Andy Gregory to Kevin Tamati. But once again, another lovely break from Andy Gregory, setting Warrington up on the attack. But his pass alleged to have been forward. So scrum down, midway between the Leeds 25 and halfway line, which Mark Conway will feed, but Warrington have the free kick. So Paul Bishop has the ball. And puts the ball nicely into touch and sets Warrington up now on the attack inside the Leeds 25. Tamati will take it. Jackson and Boyd coming for it. It goes on to Les Boyd. Les Boyd charges in. Gets the ball away to Paul Ford. He's going for the corner onto Meadows, who scores his second. And Kevin Meadows goes in at the corner for his second try of the afternoon. His 3rd try in 2 games. Les Boyd's pass nicely onto Paul Ford. Just like that. And Paul Ford, who nicely sent Kevin Meadows in at the corner. So once again, Paul Bishop. Another difficult attempt from this near touch line. Comes up, left footed. That's a better one, but just goes to the left of the posts. And the score stays Leeds 6, Warrington 25. So halfway through this second half, 20 minutes remain. And once again, Mike Gregory takes it nicely, comes out of his own 25, before he's brought down by Kevin Rain. Tamati onto Sanderson. Sanderson looking for the gap, makes another good few yards before he's brought down. Once again, Tamati, this time onto Gregory. Gregory, dummies, looks for the gap, but just can't get away from Jeff Gratian. Mike Gregory onto Paul Bishop. Bishop to Jackson. Jackson. This time it goes on to Boyd. Boyd straightens up. His pass is nicely taken by Bishop, but just can't finally take it. And that is a knock on by Paul Bishop and a scrum down. So Mark Conway will feed this scrum for Leeds, but have to do it all over again. Referee not happy with that one. This time he feeds. Leeds in possession. Heron, Medley. Medley though will stop by Andy Gregory and Mark Roberts. Conway to Maskell. Maskell. Good tackle, Jackson there. Sam goes on to Rain. Gets away from one tackle, finally brought down by Paul Bishop. Richard Gunn back to Gratian. Gratian can't take it. Mark Roberts has possession for Warrington. So Warrington back in possession midway inside their own half. Samty's acting halfback. Sends it on to Les Boyd. Samty goes himself. Can't get the ball away though. This time it's Jackson. He goes himself once again, makes a few yards before he's brought down. This time it's on to Gregory, to Bishop. Bishop back to Gregory, on to Mark Roberts. Mark Roberts though is held by Richard Gunn. 6th tackle. Sanderson on to Bishop. Bishop with a little chip through. Mark Foster's going for it once more. And Paul Bishop was hammered off the ball. Both touch judges are on. Mr. Easter and Mr. Cross. It's Mr. Cross who will have a word with Mr. Lindop. As Andy. Paul Bishop was flattened off the ball as he took that kick. And going into the referee's book. Keith Rain. And Brian Carbett gives the ball to Paul Bishop, who will try and no doubt add a further 2 points to the Warrington score. So Paul Bishop, 2 goals this afternoon, plus a drop goal. We'll try to kick this penalty as he comes up. And that looks a better one, but once again just going to the left of the posts. And Leeds coming out now. So David Warren acting halfback for Leeds. Rain, nicely tackled by Sanderson. Once again David Ward. Dummy there from Gunn, finds the gap, but quickly pounced upon by Paul Bishop. Ward once more to Rain. Rain straightens up and his pass. And Andy Gregory's got it, he's got a break now into Leeds 25. His pass though does not get through to Les Boyd, and Warrington back in possession as Leeds lose the ball with Ronnie Dwayne. Warrington then on the attack inside the Leeds 25. Les Boyd on to Gregory. Gregory a long pass out. Mike Gregory this time cuts back inside the Leeds 25 before he's brought down. Tamati this time will take it. Hands it on to Andy Gregory. Gregory and a nice pass on to Sanderson. Sanderson goes through before he's stopped by Keith Rain, and in fact loses the ball. Medley comes away with it. Well tackled though by Jackson. Maskell. David Ward this time on to Gratian. Gratian to Rain. Rain though gets away from Roberts but not from Jackson and Boyd. Gratian once more. And Mike Gregory comes away with the ball now for Warrington. Sets it out to Gregory. Gregory now. Still going, back inside, still going for the corner. This is going to be a great try. What a try from Andy Gregory. He just sent the Leeds defence one way or the other, dummies here and there, and goes into the corner for a great try. A great try from Gregory. Dummy to Foster, dummy to Meadows, and the Leeds defence fell for it each time, and Gregory dove into the corner apart from the intentions of Healy, the Leeds fullback. So Paul Bishop, another difficult attempt on this near touchline. And that looks a better one, but once again just going to the left of the post. Leeds 6 points, Warrington 29. 6 tries, 2 goals and a drop goal for Warrington, 1 try and 1 goal for Leeds. So 12 minutes remain. Brian Carvett picks the ball up for Warrington. Once again, makes good ground, stops short of his own 25-yard line. And the ball is dropped by Gary Sanderson. And that will be a scrum down on the Warrington 25. And Leeds in possession this time. Heron, Creaser back to Heron. Heron long pass out to Medley. Medley though well tackled by Meadows and Foster. Staniland. Stopped on the Warrington 25. Mark Conway this time. On to David Ward. Ward goes himself, finds the gap, he's away. Good tackle though from Mike Gregory. In fact it was Bob Jackson, another good saving tackle from Jackson. This time it's Gratian. Gratian still going, gets the ball away. Leeds then pressing inside the Warrington 25. David Ward back to Rain. Rain though stopped by Roberts. Gratian gun to Heron. Heron, Rain comes up. Good tackle by Sanderson. 6th tackle for Leeds. Goes back to Maskell with the kick, but that is going to be too high and too wide and too far, which gives Warrington another tap from the 25-yard line. And Warrington about to make a substitution. Another good performance from Gary Sanderson. Once again, another good tackling stint. And playing well in attack as well. And Billy McGinty takes his place on the field as Bob Jackson comes away with the ball for Warrington. Gregory to Bishop, Bishop back to Gregory, Gregory onto Les Boyd, Boyd onto Ronnie Dwayne, took it well but Valley just couldn't take it to knock the ball on. Which will result in a scrum down. Mark Conway comes away with the ball. Finally stopped by Brian Carvett. This time it goes on to Rain. Rain gets away from McGinty, he's going for the line. Well tackled though, Mike Gregory. David Ward onto Heron. Heron. Keith Rain throws the ball back. Gratian knocks it on and finally a knock on. So Andy Gregory will feed this scrum inside the Warrington 25. Puts the ball in and Warrington have possession. Gregory going across field, dummying again and finds the gap once more. Gets the ball away to Dwayne. Dwayne now back inside to Carvett. Carvett still going. And finally just brought down, still gets up, goes across field. Another good move there from Warrington. Mike Gregory this time on to Les Boyd. Les Boyd charges through, makes play inside the Leeds half before he stopped. Tamata will take this one, hands it on to Gregory. Gregory to Bishop, Bishop onto Mark Roberts, looking for the gap once more. He's got McGinty up in support. McGinty's got Bishop to his left and finds him nicely, and Bishop will go under over the posts for another try for the wire. Paul Bishop this time. And all the half-backs now have scored as well. Once again, a nice break. Billy McGinty, his pass inch perfect to Bishop, and Bishop went over under the posts. To record Warrington's 7th try of the afternoon. An easy kick to sign for Paul Bishop, and makes no mistake with that one. So Leeds 6 points, Warrington 35, and after last year's hammering here by 34 points to 2, Warrington gain revenge by virtually the same score. Paul Ford has it. Tamati. Andy Gregory this time will take it, hands it on to McGinty. McGinty clears his own 25-yard line before he's brought down. Tamati on to Bishop. Bishop with the kick through and finds the gap once more. Bishop picks it up nicely, goes left, still going Bishop. Back inside, he's got Mike Gregory up in support, he's got Mark Roberts with him, but the pass is just put to ground. The ball still goes loose, Matt Foster goes for it, but play will go back for the initial knock-on by Mark Roberts. But a nice break there from Paul Bishop. Matt Conway feeds, Leeds ball. Heron back to Conway. Conway though well tackled by Bishop. Heron. Heron still going. Goes on to David Ward. Ward though well tackled. So 5 minutes remain. And nice break there from Richard Gunn, hands it on to Maskell. Maskell now he's got Paul Ford up. And nice tackle by Paul Ford, saving another certain try. Gunn once more, he made that break, a nice pass out, but Healy can't take the pass. And another knock on. Leeds man of the match, being judged to be David Ward. And it looks like Leeds have won this ball from the scrum. They have. Heron. Heron straightens up, looks for the gap. Well tackled over by Mike Gregory. Creaser onto Rain. Rain makes play inside the Warrington 25. Mark Conway onto Maskell. Maskell to Gunn. Gunn. This time a chance here, Creaser. Richard Gunn once more. Well tackled though by Kevin Tamati. Rain onto Gratian. Gratian to Heron. Heron can't hold the pass. Well tackled by McGinty. And 6 tackle for Leeds, still not made much ground. The kick comes in from Gratian. Ball goes loose and McGinty picks it up, and Leeds get the free kick for offside. So David Ward will tap it, takes it quickly onto Gratian.